Hi my lovies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my most full coverage foundations. Not just medium coverage buildable, I mean intensely high coverage foundations. I get asked a lot what my favorite full coverage foundations are, and I want to talk about a few of them here today. Some of them I will explain why I don't wear them as much as others and which ones I recommend for particular occasions, etc. So let's kick it all off. I have affordable foundations in this as well, so drugstore friendly, but I will warn you that a couple of them are high end. The first one I'm going to start off with is probably the most full coverage foundation. I love this foundation. I highly recommend it, but I will explain why it's not suitable for everybody. This is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation, and I am in the shade number 44. Do you know what? If I forget any of the shades, I'll write them down below just so you can know what my shade is. This is one of the most high coverage foundations you could ever imagine in all of your life. This will cover everything. I bet this would even cover a tattoo. You need the tiniest amount, you probably can't even see it, but it blends out seamlessly and covers everything. It covers redness, it covers hyperpigmentation, it covers blemishes, it covers spots, it covers everything. Every sin you have in your face, it will cover it. It is amazing. Now, if you have more mature skin or you have skin that tends to crease a little bit, maybe you might have some smile lines, I do, or under eye areas that can crease an awful lot, I would recommend to stay away from those areas. If it's only your under eye, you're grand. But if foundation seep into lines around your mouth or in between your brows or anything like that, this foundation may not be for you because this does tend to crease a little bit. So more mature skin are not going to like this because it can sink into lines, and it's not something I would recommend. Like, nobody wants to emphasize lines, but otherwise it is an amazing foundation. I love it. It's expensive, but it's worth it. I bought this last year and I still have well over half of the bottle. It comes in this gorgeous frosted glass. The packaging is so high end. I love it. Love this foundation. You won't see a blemish on your face when you use this. It can tend to look a little bit cakey if you go OTT in it, but a light application, how can you have a light application of full coverage foundation? But you know what I mean. If you apply this sparingly, it will look a little bit more natural on the skin, but this is definitely full coverage and something I would recommend for maybe like nighttime wear. The next foundation is like an oldie but a goodie for me. This is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This is a foundation that's been with me a long time. I love to wear this on nights out. It has a low SPF, so it doesn't have a huge flashback. The color selection in this foundation is amazing as well. If you have any blemishes or complaints or anything like that on the skin and you really want to cover them up, then go with the MAC one. It is your man. And the best thing about this is, I think that most skin types can wear it. Now, correct me if I am wrong. I have oily skin and I think this is amazing. If you have drier skin, I'm not sure, but let me know. To be honest, I think most people can wear this foundation. I've seen dry skinned people use this. I've seen oily skinned people use this. I think it is an all-rounder great foundation. I also think it's great for like mid-20s, maybe not teenage skin because it might be a little bit too heavy. And I think it's great all the way up to mature skin. I put this on my mum and she has more mature skin and it looked lovely on her also. Okay, my next foundation is going to be a more affordable one. And this is from CoverGirl. This is the Outlast Stay Fabulous foundation. I love this. It's a 3-in-1 foundation. So it has your primer, your foundation, and your concealer in it. Now, I still go in with my primer and my concealer whilst using this foundation. But oh my lord, CoverGirl, please come to Ireland. I know we have Max Factor, but I don't think that the Max Factor foundation is as good as this one. This is just incredible. This looks flawless on my skin. I mean flawless, but it has like a glow. Like, it's very hard to explain because it's not glowy, it's just really like fresh looking on the skin. This is definitely suitable for most skin types as well because, like I said, I have oily skin and it doesn't break down on me throughout the day. It is a beautiful foundation. It looks gorgeous on my skin. I adore wearing this, and when I wear this on camera I'm always like, what foundation was I wearing that day, because it looks really nice. I do think this looks really natural as well when you're wearing it day to day. Even though it is full coverage, it doesn't look cakey or too much on the skin, if that makes any sense. This does not break me out ever. I just love it. I just think it's a great formulated foundation. Amazing. This has an SPF of 20 in it, so I don't know if it'd be great if you're doing flash photography or something like that, but I haven't had any bad experiences with it yet of wearing it on nights out and stuff like that, so I'm not really sure. I don't think it's too bad. The next foundation I want to talk about is one of the first high-end foundations I ever bought, and I saved to buy this and I love it, and it's my Estee Lauder Double Wear. So before I talk about the benefits of this foundation, there is a few things I just want to mention. This has an SPF in it. I think the SPF, yeah, it's only an SPF 10, but the flashback on this, guys, is like nothing I've ever experienced before. I have foundations with SPF 15 in them and they don't give me flashback like this does. I would never wear this on a night out if I was taking pictures. It looks amazing on a night out, but the second the flash comes on, you have a white cast all over your face. It just bounces back like there's nothing else. I wish they take the SPF out of it, but then the formula might be a bit weird. I don't know. This foundation has been with me a long time, and like I said, it was the first high-end foundation I ever saved to buy myself. I got a sample of it in a magazine at the time it was like been promoted. I just fell in love with it there and then, and I've been using it ever since. The positive sides of this is that it will cover everything you need it to cover. It does not budge. I have never known a foundation not to move like this. Like, it will not move at all from your face, ever. Not even a smidge. And that's why I loved it so much, because I'd put it on in the morning and by the evening time I would still be on my face and I wouldn't have oiliness or cakiness or anything like that. It is amazing. The only other thing as well, because it is like so quick drying and sets on the skin, that you can't really top it up throughout the day because it will cling together and kind of cause like a cakiness, but it also kind of goes like a deeper color as well on the skin. So I wouldn't recommend, you know, topping up your makeup at all throughout the day if you are wearing this either. You won't need to, honestly, you won't. And this will withstand sun, it will withstand rain, it will withstand everything. It is amazing. Really highly recommend it. For another affordable foundation, this one I don't think gets enough like hype on YouTube. I just don't get it. Maybe it's just me. I'm just in love with this foundation and I don't understand why other people aren't. Why aren't they in love with this foundation? This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Foundation. It is one in the glass bottle and it has a red lid. There are so many of these in the range, but this is my favorite one, especially for high coverage foundation. Before I discovered this foundation, I only used to use L'Oreal True Match, Estee Lauder Double Wear and MAC Fix Fluid. They were the only three foundations that I owned. I always thought because products were higher end that they were better quality, but then I discovered this and I was blown away. This was the first foundation that I ever wore that was full coverage, and it was from an affordable brand. I only used to wear like tinted moisturizers when I was young, and then the True Match, like I said, but that was really sheer coverage but buildable. But this was definitely more full coverage. My oily skin just welcomes this with an open door. It loves it because it doesn't cause my oils to come through very quickly in the day. I get the most coverage from this foundation out of most of my affordable foundations. I think this is like one of the highest coverage. It lasts all day on my skin. It looks fresh, it looks nice, it's not cakey, it doesn't crease, it doesn't seep into lines, it doesn't do any of those things. I mean, it looks fresh, it's long lasting, it looks amazing. I think out of all of my affordable foundations, if I had to pick one, that's so tricky, but I would still probably pick this one. I buy the shade 140. It looks an awful lot lighter, but this actually oxidizes a little bit. So out of all the foundations I want to talk about today, this one oxidizes slightly. So I always get a lighter shade and it oxidizes to my normal shade. So that's the only downside to it. Everything else, the price, the application, how it blends, everything like that is amazing. Okay, the final full coverage foundation that I want to talk about is actually one I haven't used in a while, and I will explain why. It's even in old packaging. I need to buy a new one because I won't wear it, you know, it's kind of old now. But it is super full coverage. If you're looking for a full coverage foundation, you won't be disappointed. It's the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo foundation. This was actually designed to cover tattoos. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what Kat Von D brought this out for. This would be on the scale of the Marc Jacobs foundation for full cover. It is quite thick. I don't know if you can see that there. Like, it is super thick. A little bit of this goes a long way. So I'll talk about why I love it first, and then I'll explain my kind of concerns with it as well. So I love this foundation because the color is amazing. Actually, out of all of my foundations, this is one of the closest match colors to my skin. It doesn't crease on me. It doesn't look cakey. It looks really like, I'm not going to say fresh, because out of all the foundations today, other than the Marc Jacobs one, this is probably the least fresh looking one. It does look like you are wearing makeup, but if you use a light hand with it, you can get away with it. The only issue I do have with this is if I wear this foundation a couple of days in a row, I will get breakouts. So I will get like almost like cystic boils on my skin. They're like underneath the skin and they're just really, really annoying. I haven't gotten it the last 2 times I've wore this foundation, but I brought this to Gran Canaria with me last year and I wore it for 10 days straight in the evening time. My skin was not looking hot by the end of it. I did blame this foundation, but it could happen to be that maybe I was partying a little bit too much when I was away there, not eating as great as I normally would. So that could be another thing as well. That is my only concern from it. I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced that with the Kat Von D one, that maybe it's just a little bit too thick or too full coverage, but still nonetheless I do like this foundation, and it just disappoints me that when I do wear it too much, it breaks me out. God damn it. I did actually feature this in a disappointing products video because I wanted to let you guys know my disappointment with this product. The EX1 foundation is another really, really high coverage foundation. It's really affordable, but it is only available online. I did see it on Topshop in London when I was there the last time, so if anybody knows where you can buy this in stores maybe, but it is another great foundation or great alternative if you want something more affordable. Okay guys, that covers all of my full coverage foundations that I have in my collection. I did scour through my collection to try and find everything. I think I've covered enough. If you guys want a more, you know, light coverage foundation video or foundations that I recommend for more natural looking makeup, then let me know. I can definitely do that. And if you guys want to catch up with me anywhere else, you can follow me on my social media. They're always linked down below: Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all so much. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I will talk to you in my next one. Mwah. Bye!